Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. Hope you guys are doing well today. In this video, we're going to be talking about tanking in Dragonflight, specifically around dungeons and how difficult is it. So tanking in Dragonflight is a bit different to the other expansions that we've had in the past couple of years, especially in the first season, because there's no borrowed power. Which means we're not waiting for that point where tanks hit that plateau of being uber DPS, unkillable, able to pull entire dungeons at a time, because that's not going to happen. We're not getting that borrowed power, so we're not having that increased spike of performance. Whereas we're now in that position where we're actually just in a really good spot. So tanks are very, very strong at the moment, and for people wanting to feel like they are carrying or leading a dungeon, tank is probably a good role for you, and I'll explain why in a minute. But for people that are wanting to take a little bit more of a back seat, people that don't want the responsibility so much, maybe tank isn't for you. So let's get into the reasons why. First of all, tanks are expected to control the pace of a dungeon. This means that you not only need to know how much to pull, which again can be based on group. Just because you did a pull with one group doesn't mean that the next group's going to be able to do it. You need to be able to get all that under control. We are in a very burst-centric meta at the moment with classes like Havoc Demon Hunter, able to kick out just extreme amounts of AoE damage very quickly with their kind of Essence Break Eye Beam combos, and you've got Windwalker Monks, again very, very high rated, likely to see them in the meta quite a lot, that can kick out extreme amounts of AoE damage very quickly. You need to be on the ball with getting these pulls together, grouping them up, getting threat very quickly, and then moving on to the next pack and being able to continue that pace throughout the dungeon. You need to know most, if not all, of the routes and mechanics. Now, as an example, the footage you have in the background, Natharius, I actually don't know the route very much in here. I know some of the mechanics, I've done it on my Evoker, I'm confident that I know how to avoid damage, but I didn't know the route, which means we probably pulled a lot more trash than we needed to. I've gone through this dungeon and skipped so much trash, but I couldn't figure it out. I didn't know the route at the time, and that's something that is to be expected for tanks. Tanks are going to be expected to rock up to Mythic Plus and have a good idea on routes and percentages and everything else. The other thing then is tanks are now, with the way that they're just balanced at the moment, are now expected to be self-sufficient. Your healing typically is mostly from yourself and kind of additional from your healer, as opposed to your healer being the primary. So it's something that you do need to look after yourself quite a lot, and all the tanks that are currently expected to be really top end can do that, as well as provide utility to the group, as well as providing almost 4th DPS level damage. As you can see in the footage in the background, I was like a good 3-4k above people in terms of DPS, and that's not a flex in any way. It's just one of those things that tanks are expected to be able to do that much damage. You need to be able to keep threat is the main part. Now threat is being buffed, and hopefully that will alleviate some of the problems around needing to be so damage centric, but as an example, Demon Hunters currently, so Vengeance Demon Hunters, if you go and have a look into their builds, have 2 or 3 different builds that they can pick from in terms of like talents and stuff. And the recommended one is the damage tree. So you take as much damage as possible out of the tree, and you just get what you get in terms of defensives. Now there is a very defensive version, but it's highly recommended you stay away from it, because the easier, better, and the tree that you should be getting used to is the damage tree. So it's one of those things that just seems to be the way that we're going right now, where tanks are expected to be able to kick out that much damage. So to summarise, it's not going to be a very long video. Tanks at the moment, if you want to feel like you are leading the group, you're leading the charge, and I think this is a really good spot for tanks to be in. In terms of that, I think tank is a really good option for you right now. It doesn't feel just very sort of sword and board, like old school tanking, where you're just there to hold aggro and mitigate damage. You're there to do as much damage as possible as well, and that's really cool. If that's what you like, then tanks are in a good spot, and I would highly recommend checking the tanks out. If you don't want to feel that responsibility, and there is a lot of responsibility around it, it's not to say that healing or DPS will be easy, and I will be doing videos similar to this for healers and DPS, because they don't get away lightly. There are things that they are responsible for as well, but I think maybe they're a little bit more for that sort of person. And again, there's no issues. We need all of them in the group, right? So hope you guys have enjoyed this video. It's a little bit of a different format. Let me know what you think. We've had so many views and all that good stuff on the channel recently, and obviously lots of content, so more coming soon. If you do like, please hit that subscribe button, let me know. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later. Goodbye.